Welcome back to Dubai. I'm joined by my partner Spencer, and we've met a ton of 7 to 9 figure brand owners here. And in this video, we're gonna drop the sauce of everything we've learned, as well as cover the biggest unanswered questions from our recent mastermind. And once we drop the sauce, we're gonna go side questing in the desert with a few of our 100k per day friends. Out here in Dubai, being gurus right now, which behind, we're just gonna answer some few questions here that we didn't get through now. Spencer, we're spending about 7 figures per month on ads right now. What do you think are the performance metrics people should be tracking?
I think if there's any metric that you should be tracking inside of Facebook, it's going to sound obvious, but I don't think people pay enough attention to it, and it's spend. How much ad spend are your ads that you think are really, really good? How much spend are they actually getting? And those ads that are getting, barely any spend, but they're getting a high ROAS, are they really good ads? And if you ask me, and I think you would say the same thing, they're not good ads. So spend is a really important metric. But if we're talking some saucy metrics, the ones that I know people aren't tracking, first one is inside of your ad account is actually tracking the conversion rate in your ads and your conversion rate per ads. So creating a custom metric inside to calculate, however many purchases you have divided by your landing page views or link clicks. And then same thing with AOV. So actually track the AOV from each ad as well. A lot of people test offers on their website and they don't have actual data. Well, for us, we test offers through our ads, right? And when we can actually see the conversion rate and the AOV inside of Facebook from those offers rather than the blended ones on the Shopify store, those are some saucy metrics to get. And I would say some real metrics that you need to start tracking if you're more advanced, and especially maybe you have a team, is your ad hit rate. Number one, everybody should track that. Your ad hit rate is how many ads do you make and how many of them actually become winners. And then number two is actually how long does it take you to make an ad, right? We recently did a time audit on our team, and we realized that, for some of our clients, it takes an extra day if they just want to review ads. Usually whenever we ship an ad, it gets launched the same day. But if we have to wait for clients to review ads, it takes an extra day. And then our time to actually complete ads is about 4 days. And so some of you guys, you might be making ads and it only takes you a day, but you might have a 1%, 2% hit rate. So you're not putting enough intent into your ads. And so that doesn't mean you need to spend more time on them per se, but it probably means that you should take a little bit more consideration, maybe spend an extra day to make sure that they're actually quality. So I think tracking how long it takes you to make ads, tracking your ad hit rate, conversion rate, and AOV inside of Facebook and not just on the store are probably some big metrics that maybe people aren't tracking that they definitely need to start tracking. What about you?
It's mainly about getting winning ads, right? So tracking the metrics that lead up to a winning ad. So whatever that is, winning ad will determine, like Spencer said, spend, returns, etc. What do we need to do to get to that winning ad? Whether that's getting faster, tracking, how long it takes to get your creatives, making it faster. Tracking what's your ad hit rate is very, very important as well. Dudes will say they push out volume, but maybe you test out 1,000 creatives, only one of it hit. Your ad hit rate is shit. It's very hard for you to scale this way. Optimize for ad hit rate instead of just pumping a ton of volume. It's not the most important thing, I think.
What's a Facebook ad strategy that worked back in, say, 2023 that now in 2025 is just a terrible strategy and does not work?
Bid caps. Back in the days, bro, there was a method called the bully method. I can't remember the exact name of the guy who used to create it. But basically, it was some bullshit thing where we would put crazy high budgets, 100k, 10k, with bits, manual bits. The thing with that method is there's a chance you go to the bathroom, you come back, in a few seconds, it spent that whole 100k. You can get fucked very hard. If you try to do it now, you'll get wrecked. You have the same issue where it spends that much, and you really don't need such complex bidding tools anymore. Facebook is smart enough to know how to allocate your budget the best. Really, the focus is more just creatives now. Letting Facebook figure it out is the best method you can have. Instead of focusing your time on optimizing for this type of other small bidding stuff, your highest leverage is your creative. This way you can actually, take time out of your day, don't be glued to your computer. You step out, your team still creates creatives, you still be scaling. Unless you want to be like a professional day trader, you get glued to the computer 24/7 for 5% increase in performance. is it really worth it? You're gonna burn out over time. Like, it's not gonna be sustainable. You're not gonna be able to scale very far.
I mean, it's still a strategy that can work, but in 2025, it's not going to work as well. And that's just spam testing creatives. I think there's a place for spam testing creatives where you can use content creators, test them, and see if you can get lucky, basically. But if your entire strategy just revolves around getting lucky, then what kind of a strategy do you have, you know? So I think back in 2023, you could get away with just spam testing creatives, but now it's the best creatives win. And if you're just spamming, hoping for the best, you know, you're going to be one of those dudes on Twitter, you know, asking how everybody's results are. I would say just spamming creatives is a strategy that used to definitely work, but now definitely not going to be as successful.
If a brand is currently doing like 50K to 100K per month, what do you think is the things that they need to fix?
I think if you're doing 50 to 100K per month, you've done something right? Like you've got to a point where now we're probably, you're a 7-figure brand, right? As long as you're maintaining that consistency. The amount of dudes that I talked with in January and even February scale out to 100, 150K in November. It's like, bro, everybody can do that. Well, not everybody, but it's like, it's very easy to do when the entire market is buying gifts, buying presents, and, come January, February, you're back down doing 30K a month, right? And I think if you want to actually consistently get to 50 to 100K per month, number one, but most importantly, scale from 100K to $1 million per month, you have to start to understand why things are working. Most people, they just don't know why things are working. And I think a good example of this is some of you guys rip creatives, right? You go to Calidata, you go on TikTok, you find somebody, talking about your product, you rip it, and it actually does get you some purchases. I mean, oh man, I've seen brands get to 250K a month plus just ripping creatives, which is, number one, not what I'm telling you to do because I think that's stupid. But number two is you don't actually know why those rip creatives work. Like the brands that actually maintain scale and actually are able to continue scaling are the ones that understand why those specific creatives work in the account, and they're able to recreate them in a way that isn't better in their mind, but it's actually better in the customer's mind, right? And so if you can understand the messaging of a ripped creative, you can understand exactly, maybe the environment that they're in, or you understand what type of creator is, like what they're talking about. And more importantly, you do customer research to understand deeper about, why that ad is working, and you use that information to make more. That's how you start scaling beyond, because most of you guys that are doing that, again, just like I said previously, you're just kind of getting lucky. And if you're waiting for your competitors to post ads, like, what kind of a strategy is that? So I think the biggest thing I'd say is understanding why things work. If you can start to learn more about why things are working in your ad account, you're gonna be doing a lot better.
From everyone I've seen, like getting to 100K per month, 50K per month, like it's not very, very hard. You rip some creatives, test enough products, you'll get there eventually. Common advice I give people who want to do 100K a month to $1 million a month, just to move with more intent. And just said, figure out what's working, what's not. Instead of just testing things just to test them, you have to figure out what's actually going on. Making sure that each creative you test, each product you test, whatever it is, you have thought process behind it, you have a hypothesis, you actually thought about it before doing it. It sounds very simple, but a lot of the times you guys just testing things just because you thought, why not, right? That's the wrong mentality to have. Everything action you take, make sure that it's well thought out. That's what moving intent really means. I think that's the most important part to get to $1 million a month. When you create creatives, ask yourself, who am I going to target? What am I targeting? Why do I want to create this creative? That's going to help you unlock what you need to get to 7-figure a month.
What's one piece of advice that you wish somebody gave you on your journey to getting 8 figures? Like maybe something that you learned later in the process or through the hard way. What's one piece of advice you wish somebody would give you if you're trying to get to 8 figures or $1 million per month?
I think it comes down to focus. And at every stage of entrepreneurship, when you're just starting out, even when you do huge numbers, Homoty talks about it a lot. It's all about focus, right? When you're just starting out, it's knowing what to focus on. Should I be doing Facebook ads or Google ads? At this stage, okay, you're 100K per month. Okay, should I be spam testing creatives? What type of format should I be creating? Even at bigger levels, you're doing a few million a month. Should I start a new brand? Should I not? All these type of things, a lot of it are distractions. Most of the times, if you just stick with something long enough, say you only do Facebook ads, only stick with one certain brand, stick it out long enough and you'll figure it out. And a lot of times, even at Forest, with some skills, some brands to 7 figures per month, businesses doing pretty well already. We feel like sometimes you should venture out into other stuff, But you meet more people and you see them like stick it out for so long that and you're doing much crazier numbers, really brings perspective to you. I think it really just comes to focus and knowing that results obviously won't come from, short term, right? The results compound, but they take a long time. And sometimes it takes more work than you think you need to. Maybe it won't take you like 50 creatives to get a winner. Maybe it'll take you like 1,000. The type of perspective, I think focusing on something long enough and knowing that it might take a lot more work than you expected to achieve it, but knowing that your actions eventually will lead to the results, you're just going to stick with it long enough.
I think for me, the one thing I wish I learned is not just hiring people to fill positions. Like a lot of you guys probably have a video editor, maybe you have a graphic designer, maybe some of you guys have hired a creative strategist or something like that. Like so many of you just hire people and set zero expectations. You have zero KPIs for them and you don't track anything that they do, right? And I think that is one of the biggest pieces to getting to 8 figures into $1 million a month. I mean, we know dudes that have gotten there, pretty much by themselves. But the most important thing is actually tracking and making sure you have clear expectations with your team. Because if you actually have clear expectations, when you bring somebody on and you say, this is your role, this is exactly what you're going to be doing, here's exactly what we're expecting from you. And then more importantly, here's how we're going to track that. So make sure that you are actually doing those things, right? Some of your guys' KPIs for video editors or other people that you bring on your team is just doing the work. Yes, sure. Yet you need them to do the work. Like, yeah, I need you to edit, 2 videos a day or whatever it is. But it's like, you need to incentivize your team to actually want success and to actually create winning ads, not just ads. Because if your team is not motivated by what you're motivated by, which is obviously winning ads and scaling, they're just going to fail. And, we've been through probably at this point, dozens and dozens of people through the agency. We've consulted on people that have hired, tons of people as well. And most important thing is making sure that you're tracking and you're holding these people accountable and you're setting the right expectations. Because if you just bring someone in to do shit that you don't want to do, it's a great way to stay small. So I'd say my number one piece of advice is make sure you have clear expectations for the people that you bring on. Make sure they're incentivized by what you care about and make sure that you track that to hold them accountable.
So we're out here in the desert now being Dubai gurus, ready to sell courses. So we're right here with some course scammers. First up, who do we have here?
Hello, I'm Leo and I'm the driver. I drive the Sun and very good. And for 20 dirhams, I will drive you anywhere you want.
Do you have a driving license?
No, but I don't need. I have Mark Zuckerberg license.
Okay, easy. Who do we have here?
Ryan.
How many 100K per day screenshots have you posted?
The same one.
So what do you think is the difference between someone who's just doing, 100K a month and someone who's doing like 10 million a month? What is the main difference between both entrepreneurs?
I think the biggest difference is just their knowledge and what they understand. And I think the biggest problem that most people have is they don't know why certain things work. And for you to get to that kind of scale, doing with some of the numbers that these guys are doing, you have to know what ads are working and why they're working. You have to know what pages, advertorials are working and why they're working. A lot of people that are doing like 100K, even like 400 or 500K a month, I talk to them and they don't really know why. It's just working and that's it. So I think that understanding of why or of how things work and why they're working is how you can then know what to do more of and what to do less of. And then that's all those guys are doing at crazy scale. They're just doing a lot more of the things that work and a lot less of the things that don't work. You know what I'm saying? You've been here, consulting all of the gurus, in ecom. You're your guru's favorite guru. But I want to know, what has been the biggest takeaway, in all seriousness, from chatting with some of these dudes that are doing, $1 million months and stuff? What's been the biggest takeaway from chatting with them?
The ones who do like $1 million days, chances are they have leverage in some form that you didn't even think of. Whether that's the way they scale their teams, or whether that's the way they train their teams. I think it's from million to million has some crazy leverage there. Whether that is, oh, that's the guy. Hey, bro said the sauce must wait. The sauce must wait. Double budget anyway. Oh shit, it's going on cost, bro. Oh my god, for a different place now. We're now on a beach instead. But going back to what I said yesterday regarding everything we've learned, meeting 7 to 9 figure e-commerce entrepreneurs, what I've learned mainly is how to keep things simple. So we made dudes that, instead of having that crazy team just scale to, few million a month, dudes have like one media buyer just doing everything, scaling to, few million profit a month. So it is really surprising. I didn't really meet people who say they have crazy setups, crazy teams. It's mainly just how people have leverage in different things, whether that's one really good hire that can change everything for them, or really it's just hires that can help them expand to different markets instead of doing some crazy systems. It really just comes down to the basics as well. No matter what you do, we realize that it always just comes down to the basics. Keeping things as simple as possible helps you scale as far as possible. So for you guys, always thinking about, should I have this crazy team set up? Should I do this crazy campaign set up with 50 campaigns? Often that's not going to help you scale. If you can keep it as lean as possible, that's what I've learned here. Even though we've known this already, right? Seeing other dudes again, do 60 million a year, 100 million a year, they all scale to crazy numbers by just keeping things simple. So no matter what stage you are, whether you're doing 100K a month to doing a few million a month, that's the main takeaway that you guys should try to implement more in your business.
What scaling method is this?
Duplicate budget.
Duplicate budget. Okay.
You've been in Dubai for a few days now, you met a lot of people. What have you learned?
Falcon photos are not free.
Get in there. Turf folder. Damn, bro.
Pay first, get charged later on.
Exactly. But I learned a lot to change my strategies now. I will be way greedier. And I will from now on do unbands without telling people the price and then charge them hella money, my friends. We are driving Urus when we are at home.
Why only Urus? Upgrade, bro. Where's the Bugattis?
Oh, Chirons. Yeah, Bugatti Chirons then, I guess so.
Tyler. Where's Tyler?
Yeah,
What have you learned coming to Dubai?
Falcon photo good.
Do you learn anything in affiliate world?
No.
Nothing at all.
Affiliate world bad, Falcon photo good.
Ryan, you've met entrepreneurs doing 9 figures. What is the most important thing you've learned in Dubai?
Falcon photos, you can sell them for 100 dirham. Sell 10 Falcon photos per day. That's 1,000 dirhams per day. 360,000 dirhams per year. $100,000 USD per year. Profit per Falcon. Get 10 Falcons, you're making $1 million net profit per year. Get 100 Falcons, you're making $10 million net profit per year. Over 10 years, you made $100 million.
I'm ordering right now.
100
Bro,
Falcons.
you studied job servicing.
For those that really know me, it's not often that we're actually side questing in different countries. The reality is, for me, for the people involved, most of us are just locked in behind their desk, working, scaling e-com brands. It's not like a lifestyle business that gurus will tell you about, there's not much Lambo flexing going on. It's really just about putting in the reps, which is what Evolve is about. It's a tight-knit group of high-level e-com brand owners who just want to scale to the next level. They don't care about their Lambos, sharing what's working, what's not. Most importantly, they execute relentlessly. Behind every 100K per day brand owner you see, a lot of reps go behind it, And if you want to see what Evolve is about, check out the Dubai Mastermind highlights video here.